Reggie Miller versus Cailtin Clark. Wow, the beef I didn't know I needed. Cailtin Clark's face says it all. Well, let's backtrack. So, Basketball Night in America on Peacock and NBC. They had Cailtin Clark on there. I believe it was their debut for Basketball Night in America. And I just got to say, first and foremost, Basketball Night in America, basketball on NBC, and Basketball Prime is a breath of fresh air compared to the negativity that has stemmed from Inside the NBA. I love Inside the NBA. I love those guys. But, I mean, maybe it's time that we put them out to the pasture. I'm just sorry. I like the refresh, rebrand of, you know, what's on Peacock and what's on Prime. I like that. It's curtailed more to a millennial base and Gen Z, Gen Alpha. But that out the way. Yeah. Reggie Miller simply stated and said the quiet part out loud. Cailtin Clark ain't really that good. Okay? If we're going to be frank and honest about it, what's Cailtin Clark done since she's been a pro? Where people are like, hey, she's the greatest female basketball player of all time in the pros. There have actually been people that are trying to claim that. Reggie Miller just simply stated Cailtin Clark's game reminds him of Peyton Pritchard. And then her face just changed. The entire soul left her body. And you got people at Varsity Sports who, you know, they love them some Cailtin Clark. You know, they like white mediocrity, man. I just have to say that. And people might be like, hey, KSK Sports, what's your beef with Cailtin Clark? My beef isn't with Cailtin Clark. My beef is how Cailtin Clark is perceived and how she's handled by the media at large, mainly a white media, that they prop Cailtin Clark up so much. Like, wasn't Cailtin Clark, I believe she was like 4 for 38 before she was mercifully put out the pasture in her sophomore season by their head coach of the Indiana Fever? Wasn't she in a severe shooting slump the last time she was on the court? What makes me believe that she's automatically going to be her once she steps on the court again? I saw that in her rookie campaign. She had an awesome rookie season, but then she backed it up with a season that really wasn't that great. Now, I know people, they want to point to injuries. They want to point to that. But I have questions about Cailtin Clark's toughness. I have questions about her demeanor on the court. It seems like if you rough her up, we've seen this before, if you rough her up, you can get to her. She seems like she has a princess attitude, a diva attitude. I'm just telling you what I feel and how I observe things as a basketball fan and as somebody that's a hooper myself, not to the level of Cailtin Clark. I ain't about to come on here and cap and be like, yeah, KSK Sports, at one point, I was like that on the court, but hey, man, I got a nice jumper too. Maybe not as nice as hers, but hey, 32.9% from three-point range in her career in the W. That's 53 games. What was Reggie Miller supposed to do? Was he really supposed to compare her to Steph Curry? That's what some people are saying. They saying, "Oh, she should have been compared to Steph Curry. You should put her on a platform that you compare her to Steph Curry." You know what Steph Curry's career percentage from three-point range is? And he's been in the league for a very long time. I believe he entered the league in 2008. So he's been at it for a long time. I think he's in year 18. Year 18 in the NBA. Do you know that Steph Curry has an above 42% shooting percentage from deep? And he shoots a lot of threes just like Cailtin Clark does. You know what Cailtin Clark's percentage from three is in 52 games, actually 53 games in her career with a smaller basketball? It's 32.9%. You know what she shot last year in 13 games? She shot 28.9%. So one thing is not like the other. So on one hand, you got the Great White Hope being propped up by a lot of white media members, trying to compare her to an African-American male who's actually done the work, actually is the greatest shooter of all time based on merit, based on what they've actually done on the court at the professional ranks. Now, if you want to say Cailtin Clark is the best collegiate player of all time, you're not going to get much of an argument from me, okay? The record in the resume is what it is at Iowa. She was phenomenal at Iowa. I'm talking about what she has done in her professional ranks. Now, people want to say, well, KSK Sports, is it not Is it not unfair to say that after she's played 53 games? Sure. I don't know what she's going to be for her career from three-point range or in her career as a total as it stands through 2 seasons. Okay, we can only make a projection and we can only give our opinions of where we think she's going to be when it's all said and done. But if I'm judging Cailtin Clark just solely based on what she's done as a professional athlete, what she has done in the W to date, there is no way that you can compare her to a Steph Curry. There's no way you can compare her to a Reggie Miller. There's no way you can compare her to a Klay Thompson, even a Kyle Korver. Okay? Hell, even LeBron James. LeBron James, his three-point percentage is sneaking up the longer he's played. LeBron James is shooting like 35% in his career from three-point range, if I'm right, just based on his last couple seasons. LeBron's a spot-up shooter now. LeBron's like, he's at 40% percentage, three-point percentage the past few seasons. Can Cailtin Clark get one season where she's above 40% from three-point range? Is that a hard ask? I know it's a lot for y'all Cailtin Clark fans for to step back and just be like, hey, is that too much to ask? Can Cailtin Clark, can she get one season where she's over 40% in the professional ranks? Now, she comes out and they have a WNBA season and she's 45% from three. She's making all kind of logo threes. She's averaging like 26 points a game. I'll call back on this app and be like, hey, Cailtin Clark balling. But Cailtin Clark hasn't showed me anything in the professional game to date that would have her with the stank face on Sunday Night in America when Reggie Miller pointed that out to her. She had the stank face. And Reggie Miller was spot on. Okay? And a lot of people, they don't like that. They don't like when you call out Cailtin Clark. Okay? Because Cailtin Clark, when it comes to Cailtin Clark, I know this as a Shedeur Sanders fan. When it comes to Cailtin Clark, the white media is always going to have her back. It's crazy. As much as the white media out there, they SHIT on Shedeur. That's why people like me, somebody categorized me as a YouTuber. I appreciate that, man. I like that. Thank you for that. I think Miss Dookie said that. I appreciate you. When people like me point that out, that the media is nefarious to Shedeur, and the media isn't really like that to Cailtin Clark. The media props Cailtin Clark up way more than they should. And then it's incumbent upon people like me who are in the African American community and also African Americans and black folks on, online. And it's on us and incumbent upon us to be like, hey, there needs to be some balance here because y'all propping her up way too much. Y'all propping her up as if she's actually like Steph Curry on the court. Like, what are you talking about? She hasn't done anything in the professional ranks that should compare her to Steph Curry at all. I'm just sorry, man. It's just funny that, people, I know Dave Portnoy loves this from Cailtin Clark. And people all mad about Reggie Miller, one of the greatest shooters of all time. Now they at Reggie Miller's rack just for being a bean about it, as they would say. He was 100 with it. What has Cailtin Clark done in her professional career that warrants her the status of saying that she's comparable to Steph Curry right now? She has done nothing in the W that is close to what Steph Curry's done in the NBA. Actually, Sabrina Ionescu she has shot better through 53 games than Cailtin Clark has. There are other sharpshooters. Actually, Sophia Centrone, she shot better in her rookie season than Cailtin Clark. Paige Becker shot better than Cailtin Clark as a rookie from three. I'm just saying, you can't be mad at Reggie Miller for pointing out something that we all see. We look at the numbers, we look at the analytics, we watch with our eyes. We saw Cailtin Clark go 4 for 37 from three-point range before she got sidelined. And I'm not particularly sure that, that benching from the Fever wasn't more of a pride thing. Like, it wasn't, like, we saw her on the court. We saw what it was on the court. She was struggling from deep. I think maybe the Indiana Fever coach Maybe she was protecting Cailtin Clark from herself. I'm just saying, man, it's crazy because she was shooting the ball really bad last year. If we're gonna be real about it, come on, man, 28.9 in 13 games from deep. It's not like she's taking like 3 or 4, shots per game from three. She's launching that. She's launching them. She was averaging I think she was averaging over eight attempts a game. So she was giving herself ample opportunity to go out there and make threes, and she simply was not getting it done. I'm just saying, man. Let's keep it a bean. And people mad at Reggie Miller for keeping it a bean. Hey, man, salute to you, Reggie Miller, calling a spade, saying it right to her face. Hey, you ain't like the black shooters of the NBA. Let's not get it twisted. This is a racial thing because people are trying to prop Cailtin Clark up, and she ain't earned anything yet. Y'all trying to prop up white mediocrity and trying to compare her to Steph Curry, and she hasn't done anything merit-based as a professional basketball player that should warrant her comparison to Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, hell, even Larry Bird at this point in her career. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Y'all don't have to like what I'm saying, but y'all know it's true. All right, KSK Sports rolling out. Like and subscribe. It's a different type of video, but we're transitioning out of football season. We got one more game left, so I'm definitely going to be giving y'all more basketball-related content. So I hope you guys like this, and, I'll sprinkle in some Cleveland Brown stuff here and there, but, I mean, we're about to get in a dead spot where, frankly, for football, after the Super Bowl, we're going to get into silly season, sort of. We're going to get into silly season, and I don't mind silly season. Yeah, I could put on my clown hat and we can roll with conspiracies and theories out there. I ain't got no problem with that. All right, KSK Sports rolling out. Like and subscribe. Peace.